Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are breaking down the deck list for the Dragon deck. And here is a big spread of it. We will take some time to go through every section individually, but just take a gander and I will go into detail. The first section I'll start with is probably the most straightforward, simple section. It's the energy. You gotta have double dragon in your deck. Aura energy is one of the better ones. Multi is not as good because multi turns off if you have two special energies on it, so Aurora energy is an energy of choice. We got blend energy with the water, fighting, and lightning since it works for the Pokemon Raging Bolt and Garchomp, which we have in this list. A standard rainbow energy. This one's really hard to read, but it's a rainbow energy. We do have another one so you can read legibly. One of copy of fire and lightning for Druddigon, Raging Bolt respectively, 2 of water, and 2 of fighting. Now let's go into the Pokemon next. For main attackers, of course we have Garchomp. The Sonic Slip and the Dragon Blade are just too good to pass up on. We also have Raging Bolt. This is really good early game pressure. If it's prized, you don't go for it. Sometimes you can chase up kills late game, but unless it's early, you don't really just go for the Raging Bolt. Druddigon is the glue that keeps Dragon on going. That is why we have Fire Energy. Druddigon's revenge attack is just that powerful to have on board. And we also have Drampa. It has the same energy attack cost as Garchomp, and its ability, though tricky to put into play, is actually really useful, and we have a special combo in place for Drampa to be more consistent within our deck. 160 damage for 2 is really strong, and we have that on both Drampa and Garchomp in this deck. And our babies are all 70 HP because of the Raging Bolt mirror matches. We also have 3 support Pokemon in this list. Tatsugiri and Dragonite is powerful. Tatsugiri really helps with Dragon when it's having a slow start. Using that to pivot and search for draw is really important, but you can never underestimate the power of getting a specific supporter. We have tested both having Tatsugiri in and just Tatsugiri and Dragonite in and just Dragonite, and I think the combo is both. Having both is really nice and versatile, and you need both to make your deck as consistent as possible. And Jacloak is just in here for extra consistency. Honestly, the Jacloak spots you can mess around with, but the extra consistency always feels nice. And of course, Goodbye as part of the Garchomp line just sells it even more, and it's lovable, searchable. Now I will go to the next 2 small sections, which is the stadiums and the tools. Stadiums is really straightforward. Artisan and Story Mountains, that's the main way to get your guys out. It's a basic heavy deck, so both of these feel really good. Lost City is there to put pressure on little guys with a Raging Bolt early. If you're able to Lost Zone like a Turtwig, that just feels incredibly good. And oftentimes you don't get punished for playing it, because your opponent would rather get rid of Lost City than not use it for another turn. And oftentimes when you do it, you don't mind getting Raging Bolt Lost Zoned yourself. And Spike Noof is the secret sauce we have in here for Drampa, because getting a Pokemon out of the active is usually a lot simpler and easier to combo into than benching some guy with Magma Basin or the other self-damaging Stadium. And here are the tools we have, both Air Balloon and Float Stone, so no guy can get stuck in active, and we can easily activate Drampa's attack with Spike Myth. Lux Cape to just make some guy really tanky. Lux Cape on Raging Bolt or Garchomp is insanely scary, and Bravery Charm for the same sense as you stick this on a Drampa or a Raging Bolt, and they're incredibly thick and hard to get through now, and you're going to force your opponent to burn the Field Blower, potentially before you even have your Lux Cape out. Now the next most important section, in my opinion, is the supporters. We play both Teammates and Raihan. Raihan is another glue thing. We run a basic energy with Crispin build, so Raihan feels really good in here, being able to charge up another attacker in one turn. And Teammates feels really good because late game, if you have Dragonite up, you can get any 2 cards from your deck if you have this. Acerola, it only works if you have Dragonite in your list, but If someone is two-sharding your Garchomp, or heaven forbid something thick with a Lux Cape on it, Acerola it up with the Dragonite Precision Search, and you get all the cards attached to it like Double Dragon and Lux Cape back into your hand. So that's a little cheeky tech right there. We have Guzma as our Gust option. We usually only run one Gust in our deck, and Guzma, in my opinion, is the best version. Hex on Beck and Call with Dragonite is really good and shuts down some decks completely, so you gotta have it in your deck. Arven gets tools. Tools are pretty useful, and an item card. Those are really good. And Crispin just helps you power up your guys. That's why we run one Fire and one Lightning as well, so we can Crispin to Dredagon or Raging Bolt if we need to. Color's Tenacity, because Double Dragon is the lifeblood of Dragon, and here is the combo that this whole deck is built around. Goose, Hala, and Cynthia and Caitlyn. Goose, Hala is the best supporter to go for early game. We have Tag Call in there, so you can get it as soon as possible, and with Tag Call you can just sack Sinlin and you can get your Stadium like Pokemon to get out, or your Spike Myth and Retreat option, and Double Dragon to get an activated Drampa really early. If you didn't start Drampa, it just feels incredibly good. So this is like the backbone of the Dragon list supporter wise. And we have to draw supporters. Amarni Iono is just to help you get consistency early and whenever you need it, but with Tatsugiri and Dragonite, having more tech supporters is to be expected. Now here we get to our item cards. Special Charge is pretty obvious. Pal Pad we have in here because with VS Seeker we use 3 supporters. You could potentially use Raihan twice or 3 times, and same with Teammates or even Hex, Oppression. Pal Pad and Dragonite is like Pal Pad and Glade. It's super powerful, it gives you the versatility you need like late game. We got Field Blower. This is mandatory. Town Map instead of Hisuian Heavy Ball because you can take KOs early with Dragon, and getting precise cards like your Double Dragon is way more important than getting basics out with Hisuian Heavy Ball. Rare Candy because we got Garchomp and Dragonite. Super Rod so you can cycle back guys in but also get those energies back in for Crispin. Rescue Stretcher so you can recycle the big basic attackers or put in a line back in like Garchomp or Dragonite. Poke Gear and Trainer's Mail are just those extra trainer consistency you need early game, because Dragon can take a hot second to get working, and having these in here really helps with that. Tag Call also is important because if you hit Tag Call you hit Goose Hala and you get the whole combo going. Evolution Incense and Evo Soda both feel really good because the Evos we have in this list are really important, like Gabite and Dragon Knight. Both of those are super important, so we run Evo Soda and Evo Incense. Mysterious Treasure, get any Dragon Pokemon for your deck for 1 card, feels really good. Buddy Poffin, we have a lot of little guys that can also get your Tatsugiri out early if needed. Level Ball gets your Gabite, super important. And Quick Ball and Nest Ball, we don't have a ton of ball search because we're relying more on the stadiums to get our guys out. Anyways, that's a breakdown of this Dragon list. I hope you found it useful and you learned some things from it. And if you did, be sure to like this video, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next week's video. Bye!